Hey guys, welcome back for another Trekyards podcast. We are doing Mission Canada right now.
Live.
Samuel and myself are in the car. I'm showing him some of the sights and sounds. We're heading out to my parents' place right now. He gets to visit them for a little while. Gets to see Stratford, our version of Stratford with our Avon River.
Yes.
And then we're going to go check out, on our way back, we're going to go through London downtown so you can see our little puny attempt to emulate their awesome London in England.
We'll do some carpool filming today. Everything's mounted, so don't have to hold
and we're safe. We're safe, don't worry.
Yeah. This is a podcast. There's always a discussion. What are we talking about today, Stuart?
Is TOS the best Star Trek?
Ooh. Maybe.
My thoughts, no.
Ooh.
And that may come as a surprise to some of you, because you know that I'm a TOS guy.
You are. You're kind of TOS fanboy.
But if I was starting somebody off on Star Trek, I've said this before about just about Star Trek in general. Every series has some bad episodes that I cringe at, and I'm watching it as a fan, and I'm like, I would not want to introduce or have a non-Star Trek fan watch this episode, because I think it would really taint things for them. So I would not start them off with TOS. Maybe one or two select episodes, like Space Seed, then followed up with Wrath of Khan, kind of build that legacy for them before having them watch the whole series from the beginning.
See, I kind of think there's a native charm to TOS that is more than the other ones. You know, it has that quirkiness, quaintness, but also it has the message.
Well, they have Captain Quirk.
The message of Trek, the ideals of Trek, that is the 100% ideals of Trek show. You know, that is a raw Roddenberry. So if you want to know what Trek is, or it's meant to be, and it's like rawest form, start with that. And if people when you talk about in context, you can look at the older effects, the older sets, but good TV is still good TV. The reason Friends is still good, even though it's 20 years old now, because it still works, and because they're so far in the future, and because they don't reference maybe modern day things, that holds up even better. So I wouldn't necessarily go for episode from the Cage onwards. I might go from maybe episode 3 or something, and give them maybe a season of TOS, maybe like 10, 15, 20 episodes of TOS, just to get them in the world and give them the history. Because if you start off at TNG, and I've heard that before, if you start at TNG, TOS is a prequel, then Enterprise is a prequel to that. So therefore the idea of a prequel is normal. But if you start with TOS, you get the vibe that we all got, for the most part.
That's true. And you got to consider too that Star Trek was made for the 1960s. It's a different filming style.
Very much so.
And it did fail. It got canceled after 3 seasons. It was a little show that was considered a failure, which actually, once it got into syndication, blew up and became this phenomenon that we're all celebrating for this 50th. So, I don't know. And the thing that really bothers me about TOS, that I really enjoy about the other series, but this is, again, going back to the 1960s style of filmmaking, is the whole A and B plots.
Or lack thereof.
There's none in TOS. It's always the A plot. There's always one storyline that they're telling through the whole thing, which is fine, but with some really bad stories, it's a bad episode all around.
You sort of write those off though, don't you?
You do. But in TNG or whatever, there's the A and B plot, and if the one plot's not really doing it for you, the other one kind of still holds your interest, hopefully. There's the odd one where not really. And there's the odd TNG episode I've noticed that doesn't actually have a B plot.
Yeah.
But they got a lot to cram in with the A story, so it makes sense.
That's interesting. I can certainly agree, but I kind of like focused storytelling.
I do too, but it's those B plots that are the character development.
That's true.
And to be honest, a lot of the characters in TOS didn't have a lot of character development.
Most of them.
We had the trifecta, right? Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and the Enterprise. And then Uhura and Sulu and them kind of got little bit parts.
Yeah, moments. Only moments, yeah. Yeah, can't disagree. But, I don't know, well, okay, which show would be the worst to start off on? What do you think?
The animated series.
Interesting. Why?
Because
it's weird.
Yeah, it's got awful music editing, in my opinion. Music, and some of the stories are on par with original TOS scripts.
Oh, they're written by the same people.
Yeah, and they could have been full-length episodes and been awesome. And I do enjoy a lot of TAS. But okay, as for the main series though, the worst one to start them off with, I'd say Deep Space Nine, maybe, because it doesn't have the exploration element that is Star Trek. And I've even said this before: if you're going to introduce somebody to Deep Space Nine, start them off on Way of the Warrior, season 4.
If you've seen Star Trek previously, because
yes.
Worf and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say let them watch one of the movies that has Worf.
Imagine if that had been the first episode, the pilot, Way of the Warrior. Already on DS9, the Klingons are conflict. There's a brewing threat. That would have been a phenomenal pilot.
Absolutely,
that would probably be the best pilot out of all of them.
But
wow, that's so sad. They took 3 seasons to get to that.
Yeah, I even have a hard time getting through the beginning of Deep Space Nine, the first couple of seasons.
The first season is not good.
So
we don't like Bajorans, so we're a bit biased.
I hate the Bajorans.
They're not great. See, I was going to say I'm surprised to see DS9 because, well, if you go for DS9 as the first, you don't get the exploration, you don't get the Star Trek feel or the aesthetic, almost barely. The Defiant's like, oh, that's a weird, strange ship. It looks so different, like them DS9. But you do get the good stories, do get the characters. But I think if you then went from DS9 to say TOS, you'd think, wow, this is a bit dull or a bit,
Yeah.
I don't count these characters. I don't know. I think you got it evolved for a reason,
And they did try to do some exploration in Deep Space Nine with the runabouts and going.
I liked a few of the later ones.
Going through to the Gamma Quadrant.
Didn't like that as much. Just the idea of it.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, the one where there's that planet and they're getting a signal from a lady who crashed there, Starfleet officer.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Super episode where they go back, the Defiant goes back in time accidentally, just like Enterprise, and they meet the Descendants. Great episode, great exploration. Some really, really cool episodes.
Well, all the Star Trek series have those standout episodes, right? So
yes. See, I was almost going to say even Voyager. I was going to say Voyager Enterprise would be the worst ones because Voyager isn't that hardcore show. It is more TNG like, but the characters aren't as good. If you watch that, if you watch that on its own, it'd be more of a vanilla sort of show. There's no canon, no continuity, no sense of development, no understanding of the technology. Just like, yeah, I mean, these are characters. There's no real hard edge to it. Whereas TOS has that hard edge of quirkiness and of nostalgia. TNG has a hard edge of amazing characters, really, really good writing. Really, really, really solid. And that's when the creativity was at its highest because they had the technology, the fresh ideas, and the drive to go. The DS9 was a different creativity. Voyager was creativity, but a lesser, like, let's go explore, but not as much. It was missing something. The Enterprise was creativity in the wrong way. So,
well,
yeah.
You know how Star Wars has the machete order that you should kind of watch them in?
Yeah.
I've never actually done that, but I get why they do it that way. I think Star Trek's the same thing. If you're introducing it to somebody,
explain the machete order first.
Machete order. I'm not exactly sure right off the top of my head what the order is.
I think
but it's to watch the movies a little bit out of order to kind of follow.
I think it's New Hope, and then Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Phantom Menace, and Return of the Jedi, because you don't know he's his father until Empire Strikes Back. So you watch the first film, you get an understanding of the universe and the good characters. You go back, you understand the war, and these characters and Obi-Wan. It's like the Obi-Wan prequel story. And then we get to, turns Darth Vader, you sort of know who he is, that's cool, oh my goodness. And then the reveal of he's Luke's father. It's like, no, this guy from the other films is his father? Oh no. And then we see the prequel story of how he all began, how he's a cute kid. We really put in some context. And then you go back to the Jedi and suddenly you have all this amazing context of who the character is. But it just seems a very long way of watching the films.
It does, and it would be interesting to follow that storyline, especially having not known anything about it.
Yeah.
But, of course, we all do.
Yes.
Well, most of us.
You do?
Yeah.
You guys do.
So, my what I was getting to was, though, I think there's select episodes in each series that tie into each other, and even to the movies, like you watch Space Seed, then Wrath of Khan, and you get that real character development. And for somebody that's new to Star Trek, I think that's the way to go.
Right.
But is TOS the best? I don't think so for the best introduction. I mean, it was for the people at the time because it was a new format of show.
It was revolutionary.
Exactly. And since then, everybody's copied it, except for Star Wars, which is a little different. It copied kind of like the Flash Gordon kind of adventure stories.
/ Cinderella.
But since then, to be honest, every other sci-fi genre, every other sci-fi show, has emulated either Star Trek or Star Wars.
In some way, not whole cloth, but in some way.
No, exactly. But it's hard to come up with something as revolutionary as what Star Trek was.
Yeah.
So the people that grew up with it were like blown away by it. But with today's audience and today's expectations of special effects and even story writing, because there are some great written TOS episodes like City on the Edge of Forever.
Yes.
But that's just a fantastic piece of writing, period, not necessarily Star Trek. It's not one of my favorite Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
Not enough ships for me. But anyway, so I think you can interweave somebody into Star Trek very easily by picking the best out of all the series, and then going back and watching other ones, and then eventually watching them all in order. So I wouldn't start anybody off with TOS. I love TOS. I'm a TOS fanboy, but is it the best? I don't think so.
It's really. I love that you're saying that because I introduced a friend to Stargate. We watched every episode together.
Yeah.
And we watched it from the first pilot. We watched it from the movie, did it in the exact filming order. Though we watched the remastered version of the pilot. So anyway. And even though the first season's not great, you see it as a really developing thing. Again, there is a reason why it's told that way. Now, as we talk about different shows that don't need. I mean, you can watch Voyager first before DS9. I mean, those two are interchangeable. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, or you can watch whatever. So we can watch Enterprise first. I mean, there's these strange orders you can do it in. But for that sort of show, I felt SG-1, then Atlantis comes in. They watch them simultaneously. Then you watch the Universe. You know, the order was important for that because it's such a development. For Star Trek, it's less important. But I definitely wouldn't start with Enterprise because then to go from Enterprise to TOS would be like, wow.
Yes.
That's not advanced because because you're looking at the newest to the oldest, as will always happen. You know, look at Force Awakens to New Hope. Look at some of the quirky little, some of the cardboardy bits of the sets. Look at some of the uniform bits that are falling apart, or using marker pens. And Force Awakens, they have a full chrome. Well, they didn't budget to make it full chrome or flamethrowers. I mean, there's extra elements they just couldn't do. And if you look back, saying, "Wow, they want a stormtrooper," huh? But that's a separate thing. So I think, but is TOS the best one of the Star Treks as an overall package? Right, let's not say first to watch, but as the overall Star Trek, is Star Trek the best Star Trek? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree somewhat. I mean, what do you guys think? Is there a machete order for Star Trek? That should have been the name of this episode instead of "Is TOS the best?" Really? I'd love to hear their thoughts.
I would too. You guys have great thoughts most of the time.
Except when you don't. But
that's so few and every day. But no.
But let's look at what made, kind of talk on quickly what made TOS good.
Right.
And that was that the whole dynamic between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. Right? It's one person basically broken up into three people. They need each other to survive. One's logic, one's action, one's emotion, and human nature. And they tried to recapture that with TNG, going into the second season with Pulaski. Didn't work. Pulaski was the new McCoy. Data was supposed to be the Spock, and they were supposed to have that contentious relationship, those two. And it just did not work.
It came off as snarky and mean rather than playful.
I hated Pulaski, but I didn't get it at first because I was young. Now that I'm older, I'm watching any episodes with Pulaski and shit. They tried to. She's the new McCoy. They tried to make her the exact same person and have that contention with Data that McCoy and
at that point it's forced. DeForest Kelley had such a warmth to his character, you know.
Yeah.
Pulaski did not.
Pulaski came off as
a tone
very harsh.
I think it's one of those things where so many other shows, it's sort of accidental.
Yes. And it's hard to recapture that magic.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have. I mean, the pilot, he's not in it, and then he appears sort of randomly, and then he develops, and as soon as they realise this is a way to go, they write these scenes, it works so well, and in second season, third season, whatever. But to get these three actors that have such a connection, such a chemistry, in very different ways, as you said, and to play off each other so well, I mean, that's difficult to fake, and you can tell that it's just, let's throw three characters together and make it work. No, this was, let's three characters that happen to work together, let's build that into something. Wow, it works so well, and I'd say the reason TOS was great, obviously because of the advancement. I mean, it was a genuine science fiction, genuine science and fiction. It was pushing further, but realistically, but in a new way. It was building. I mean, Gene Roddenberry had an idea how things worked. He had an idea of the space warp, time warp, whatever what they call it early on. Like he knew the engines didn't give thrust. They created a warp something or a field. It wasn't the same thing.
And like I've said before too, it's all based on scientific reality, scientific realism.
Or at least theories.
Yes, most of which end up proving to be correct. Like I've said too, Star Trek speculates on the future and different scientific anomalies that actually end up sometimes becoming fact. Star Trek's ahead of its time that way. A lot of it, they do miss a few times, but that's one thing that I think really drew a lot of people to Star Trek, and why a lot of people in the scientific community that are astronauts and physicists,
engineers,
they owe their life direction to Star Trek, because it was really ahead of its time as far as that went. It explained how things worked, but not to the point where, because there's not a lot of technobabble in TOS, but it was real enough that people were interested. Star Wars doesn't care about how things work or why they work.
Well, that was a movie with a certain story to tell. TOS was the stories to tell, and how do you get them? And the fact that they showed the lithium crystals, like it kept breaking down how tech works. These levels that show this is how this works. This is how
And there are inconsistencies with TOS.
Oh, of course.
They didn't expect us to be talking about it 50 years later and having watched each episode 100 million times, and a show like ours existing where we break everything down. So there are mistakes, obviously.
Or even remastered in high def, so we can see the detail.
Yeah.
That, why is this spelt wrong? Why is
that made out of cardboard?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's supposed to be like the strongest substance in the universe, and it's made out of cardboard.
Yes. So that's a big one. Also, the serious storytelling. I think at the time, we talked to Doug about this, it really was those really off-kilter, strange sci-fis like Forbidden Planet. Like, they didn't really hit the right tone, but the sci-fi novels, there were novels that were superb, and they were serious sci-fi with serious themes, serious concepts, serious feel. And TOS was, I think, the equivalent of these great sci-fi novels being brought in, serious sci-fi, and obviously telling political themes. They were telling all these things that people really related to. It wasn't just this alien is going to create spores and we have to blow them up. No, it's this guy is half white, half black. This guy is half black, half white. That's a hell of a thing to do.
And I think, that's another very important aspect of TOS. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
Was the social commentary of the day, and they still do that when me and the wife are watching TNG or whatever. We'll be watching an episode, and if it's blatantly obvious, I'll just be in the corner going, social commentary. This is important.
Right.
Because some of them are very thinly veiled. Other ones are they're harder to pinpoint.
Yeah.
But and some of the episodes honestly don't do that at all. The majority of them do to some degree, but
Well, you talk about being obvious. There's a deleted scene for an episode where there's terrorists, a group of refugees, wherever it is, being terrorists from the other side of the planet, and there's a deleted scene where Picard is talking to Data, and Data's like, I do not understand the idea of terrorism, and Picard's like, well, back in those days, freedom fighters or terrorists, depends your perspective, and he actually sort of justifies it, but also not. But it's too literally explaining it, and the CBS people were like, yeah, we can't show that because terrorism.
And speaking of terrorism, like I said, I'm going back and rewatching Enterprise. We just started season 3 with the Xindi, where they've already wiped out this big swath of Florida, and it's right after the events of 9/11. It's very, very, very thinly veiled after that, and it's very interesting to see that the correlation and the way that they do it. So yeah, and the fact that they got so much stuff by the censors in the 60s just by making it the same situation but in space with the Klingons of the Federation, the Cold War.
So if the censors were slightly smarter or Gene was slightly dumber, this often wouldn't have happened either.
So yeah, TOS is a great series. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you thinking I hate TOS.
Okay.
It started this whole thing.
Look at this combat. Now, I want to point out one more thing. One great advantage TOS has. Yeah. It has a stronger quality based on it has more strong episodes out of its lot than say Enterprise does. First of all, but it's a small show, only 3 seasons. So if you're going to start a show, it's a more condensely quality piece. TNG is 7, DS9 is 7, Voyager is 7, Enterprise is 4. But if you only have to watch 3, TOS has like a... So it's easy to watch, and in some way that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, and they didn't have a mandate that they were going to be doing, 7 seasons going into it, and they didn't have this overarching story arc that encompasses all the
That'd
seasons,
cool,
or a few of them. It would have been, but 60s TV wasn't made that way, and it wasn't expected to be anything than just a sci-fi show, right?
I would like to see like a Klingon Cold War arc, not temporal, Klingon Cold War arc.
Yeah, it actually surprises me quite a bit that Gene didn't plan to do that, because he was so revolutionary in his ideas.
Yeah.
And he was the showrunner, like.
Yeah. And writer for the most part, for a lot of them at least. He rewrote a lot of scripts.
So it's actually interesting to me that he didn't have that foresight. But yeah, great series.
Yeah, I mean, we love TOS. TOS, I think TOS. I'd said this to James Corley, I believe. It's held up 50 years. I don't know if it'll hold up another 50 because technology will increase so dramatically, but it will still stand the test of time stronger than the others potentially, just for its uniqueness and like social commentary and things. And I do think in 50 years we've got holograms, all this stuff. It's like, wow, in 110 years we're gonna have jelly buttons. It's like we won't. And at some point you can't even retcon. You can't even make that make sense, even with enterprise technology. So civilization will go further, and there will be a kitschy, retro thing, but it will always have a unique feel, and that's amazing. And it's all Matt Jeffries and his clever art design and lack of budget equaled ingenuity, and yeah.
Yeah, and as Doug has said too, it does stand up to the test of time as far as Matt Jeffries' designs go. They just were filmed poorly, lit poorly, constructed poorly back in the 60s. But you do today with today's standards, and you can make it look fantastic as per stuff that he does with the James Cawley sets or the official tours, and also with In the Mirror Darkly, that Connie bridge. See, that's lit properly and everything. It does look.
Even the corridors.
It does look an advancement from Enterprise.
Yeah.
But if you watch a TOS episode and In the Mirror Darkly, then you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
This TOS doesn't look lit properly, and you've really pointed that out to me, and I've noticed it a lot more now. But
it's all relative. I mean, TOS was very much lit per shot.
Yes.
It wasn't reasons. But yeah, in summary, we love TOS. I'll still say again, is TOS the best? Maybe. Different ways, different people, different times, different what you want to do.
It is the best because it created the rest of Star Trek.
There we go. Great summation there, Stuart.
Thank you.
So
Anyway, guys, please like the video.
Subscribe.
And
comment.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. And if you want to help us out on a regular basis, head on over to Trekyards.com. Click the donate button. Donate what you can, if you can.
Yeah. Or Patreon, a monthly donation scheme, which helps us make the show and even do trips like this, Mission Canada. You guys helped us get here. We're here. We're doing all this great content you see every week, and we'll continue to do more stuff, hopefully. But until next time, maybe even another carpool. We'll see.
Yes.
I am Connor Kings.
And I'm Captain Foley.
We'll see you next time.
Share the video, guys. Get it out there.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.